Hi guys, welcome to our second video lesson. Very exciting. Today I want you to go back to the photos that we took for your texture scavenger hunt and select one of those photos, okay? So you're going to select one photo from your scavenger hunt. Okay, so remember we were looking for different textures, right? So smooth, hard, rough, soft, fluffy, and goes prickly. And I want you to go back and select one of those textures that you found the most interesting. And we are going to recreate that texture in our sketchbooks or on a piece of paper with a pencil. Okay, so let me show you the photo that I'm going to be demonstrating today. Okay, which was this guy. So this texture is what? Rough. Okay, so I have all of these little crevices. I can imagine if I were to take my hand and run it across the surface of this tree, that the bark would feel rough. Okay, I'm going to leave this up here so you can see as I'm drawing how I'm going to recreate this. So last week we practiced our value scale. So another thing I want you to do is, as you're recreating your texture, we're going to be using value. Okay, so we're using value to create shades of gray. I'm going to pull my photo back up here. And I'm going to be recreating this texture over on this side of my sketchbook. So I'm going to write out what texture I'm recreating. Okay, rough. What I would like you to do is use at least half of your page to recreate this texture. If you have a ruler and you want to create a box, that might be nice. So if you decide to do this, I want you to create a 5" by 5" box. Okay, so I'm measuring 5 inches on each side. And this will create a nice frame for my drawing. Okay. Alright, so where do we start? Let's take a look at our image. So the first thing that I want to do is get my lines in here. So start with your line work. What types of lines are in this image? I see straight lines, horizontal lines, diagonal. So I'm going to put those main lines in first. So remember, when you're drawing with your graphite, you draw light until you know it's right. Okay? That way if you have to erase, you can erase more easily. So if you're going with a rough texture, you're going to have quite a few lines. If you are trying to recreate a soft texture, you'll have less harsh lines. And if you're recreating a smooth texture, you won't have any harsh lines at all. Okay, so you can see I have these two horizontal lines. These are these two lines right here. Okay. I'm going to put more vertical lines in. Okay, so I am just observing where I'm seeing the lines in my image and trying to recreate those to the best of my ability. Okay, so I'm going to speed up the video here, and then you can see what this looks like after I have all of my lines in. Okay, so now I have the skeleton of my drawing in here, and I've added my vertical lines, horizontal lines, diagonal lines. But at this point, there isn't any value. So now I need to add in my value. And then we're working from light to dark. Okay, so what does that mean? That means I need to find my lightest values and add those in first. I want to see a full range of value. So if we're talking about a grayscale, that means I want to see light gray all the way to dark gray, just like we practiced in our value scale sphere. Okay, so I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. We want to try and recreate that three-dimensionality in our texture from our photograph. So I'm going to very lightly start shading this in. Where do I see those light values? Some of you may prefer to work from dark to light. That's okay too. So here, like, I can see that there's this really, really dark value happening in this crevice right here. So I think I'm actually going to focus on that dark, dark crevice. Adding those dark texture, dark values. So you're going to just go all the way across your drawing and start shading in. So this is going to take some time. But when you're finished, you will be left with an image that will have the illusion of the texture from your photograph. And so see, now I'm adding in this darker value that I am seeing toward this bottom area right here in this little crack. And this is a little different than how I applied my graphite when we were working with the sphere. With the sphere, I wanted a really smooth transition, and so I was using those overlapping circles. But for this, I'm actually wanting to create a little roughness. So I'm using this back and forth vertical motion, and the pencil strokes themselves actually add some texture too. Okay, so my drawing has gotten much more developed now. You can see my dark values, medium values, light values, and I want you to pay attention to my pencil strokes. So you can see that my strokes are mimicking what I'm seeing in my image here. So the lines are going down and across diagonally, and I'm recreating that in my drawing here. Okay, so the more time that you take, the more successful you're going to be in recreating this texture successfully. And these lines, these hatch marks, we've practiced these before, they almost have a texture all to their own. So use your pencil to help you create the texture inside of your drawing. Okay? So as a review, you're starting with your lines, you're drawing light till you get it right, you're adding values, so lights to darks, and you're going to be turning in on Artsonia and Schoology. Okay? Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and I'm excited to see your drawings when you're finished. Bye, guys.